I was hoping that Saturday squats were just an off day, and I know everyone in the comments is going to be like, no freaking shit, Sherlock, but I think the biggest thing that I can confirm from this fasting experiment is that even if I can get away with it on upper body stuff, it is really not conducive to lower body performance. And with how I feel, still gonna try to do my best with it, but I'm also gonna try my best to be okay with it if the best isn't very good.
There we go. That's it.
Knee twisted a bit. Like it happened on 3, and I'm like, I could just adjust the foot to make it be better. Then worse on 4 than worse on 5. And my best wasn't the most awesome there. Like it felt actually okay, but my loose knee spun a little bit towards the end of that set, which means now I got to do like 10 million TKEs until it feels like I can walk safely. And that's my own fault for not being on hip rotation work enough this week. And like, it's nothing that hasn't happened before. Like, it's just reality of missing certain knee ligaments. And like, it doesn't hurt. It just like feels really gross. And like, I don't really trust it to walk on very well immediately after it happens. So I think stiff legs are going to be out of the cards for now. But I want to see if I can run the standing leg curl for ultra high reps and see if I can get the thing to feel a little bit more secure. Feels a little better stand on. We'll get a couple more rounds here. Still feels gross, but I'm walking without much of a limp, so yeah. And walked over to this thing, and I think I'm just going to do like a billion reps body weight today. Really try to put it in the ass. No homo. Doing these for hip extension intent, glute intent. I'm almost trying to hold like an isometric ab crunch, pulling my rib cage and pelvis together, keeping a little bit of spinal flexion the entire time. And from there, I'm just trying to flex my ass really freaking hard to drive the hips through the pad. Walking feels almost normal. Like I got the normal amount of waddle, not the my knees fucked kind of waddle, so stoked with that. And think I'm gonna run chins as my first lat exercise today, not my last. See if we can actually kind of do a few body weights. Not good, but it's something. Run another one of these body weight, and the goal is to feel better, not worse than the last one. Maybe a little better feeling. Still not great, but definitely a big improvement from when we started this trying to chin up dealio. And we'll go pull downs as our second upper back. Keep the overhead clean going. And once again this week, gonna not be an asshole on these and go real slow to the top to make sure that I'm actually catching lats in the bottom. Big old squeeze. And like when I'm doing the chins, like the top end feels the sketchiest, but as you guys can see, like getting myself to the, I guess the top end is in like up here feels the sketchiest, but Getting myself two down here on the chins is where it's the weakest. So that slow pull through the top and really try to squeeze the shit at the bottom. I'm hoping makes these translate over. Since we pushed these really hard last couple weeks, gonna go, squeeze the intent on them as well today. Give us a little break to match how we felt on the deadlifts. And gonna make up for the lack of like deadlift pulling with a little bit more rowing, going more upper backy, rear delty here than we are lats, but this machine is freaking sick for the wide rear delt style row. And again, keeping that initial pull slow to make sure I'm getting what I want to get with these. And I'm going to get adventurous here, mostly for the sake of efficiency, but also because it's going to be hard as shit. A little bit nervous, not going to lie. But we're doing pullover sit-ups on the GHR, and holy shit, that was difficult. Gonna start off with what I know after the last couple sessions, and that is that if I want to continue pushing sumo, I need to do a better job at my hip prep work so that my femur doesn't spin on my tibia and make my knee fuck off pulling sumo, because that isn't fun what happens. Like, even if it isn't the biggest deal, even if it doesn't hurt, it's just gross, and then, puts a cramp in my style for the rest of the day. So we want to make sure that we don't have that happen anytime soon again. Now, here's what I think after that session. And I think that the performance laps these last few lower days, there's two things that could be happening right now. The first, the most obvious, is that the fasting, even if I can still train, even if I can still be okay with it, I'm not necessarily okay with where performance goes with it. I think the fasting is contributing to that dip in performance. So even if it is fun, even if it is cool, even if it is neat to display that self-control, if I still want to perform as well as I can through this process, I probably shouldn't be screwing with fasting too much more unless the need to go that low in calories becomes really apparent. So it was a fun adventure. It was a cool experiment. I'm glad I freaking did it because it should help me do better with future bouts of being hungry. But again, I still want to hang on to a little bit more performance than I have been showing. And I think that's going to be the big thing behind why things have felt shitty. The other potential hypothesis as to why things have felt shitty is that with the deficit and with the amount of work I'm still carrying, my wave structure might be fluctuating earlier than I'm used to it fluctuating just because of the lack of calories. And I might need to anticipate taking a reset or a refresh week earlier on than I normally would. But I think that it's more likely that the fasting is causing things to come crashing down rather than needing to change the wave structure. So first thing we're going to do is we're not going to fast next week. We'll see where we go. We'll plan on going a little bit lighter to let myself reset. If things pan out well, freaking sick. If I do have another crash down week sooner than I would expect, I will then just start expecting things to happen sooner than I expect and then plan the wave structure around that. So I think we got solutions. So let's make sure that we act on them. Peace out, guys. Have a good rest of your day.